Did you know that decluttering your life can make you feel more energized and happier, especially after 60? What if I told you that clearing out just 7 things before the new year could instantly boost your mood and well-being? Stick around to discover what these 7 things are and how they can transform your life, starting right now. You'll feel lighter, happier, and ready to embrace the new year with a fresh perspective. Meet Mary. She's 68 years old, and like many of us, she spent years collecting things, clothes, memories, obligations that started to weigh her down. She's a kind, hard-working woman who has always put others first, but lately, it felt like her home and her mind were overflowing. Between caring for her family, managing her home, and keeping up with her busy schedule, she found herself feeling exhausted and overwhelmed. She knew something had to change. With the new year just around the corner, Mary decided it was time to take a step back. She realized that in order to feel lighter, more energized, and truly happy, she needed to declutter not just her home, but her entire life. So she started small, bit by bit, tackling the things that had been causing her stress and anxiety. And the results? Simply incredible. Now I know many of you might be able to relate to Mary's situation. You've probably felt that burden of too much stuff, too many commitments, or too much negativity weighing you down. Maybe, like Mary, you've been running around trying to keep up with everything, all while forgetting to take care of yourself. You're not alone. But here's the good news. It's never too late to make a change. By decluttering these 7 key things from your life, you can experience a transformation just like Mary did. So let's dive in and explore the 7 things that could help you clear away the clutter and feel amazing before the new year. Let's start with the physical clutter, the things that take up space in your home but no longer serve a purpose. It's easy for stuff to pile up over the years. Old clothes you never wear, outdated kitchen gadgets, knickknacks that have collected dust. These items may seem insignificant on their own, but together they can create a sense of overwhelm and even drain your energy. And trust me, decluttering this physical space can have an immediate impact on how you feel, both mentally and emotionally. For Mary, one of the biggest sources of clutter was her closet. Over the years, she had accumulated clothes she no longer wore. Some didn't fit, some were out of style, and others just didn't bring her joy anymore. Every time she opened her closet, she felt like the weight of those unused items was bearing down on her. It wasn't just about the clothes, it was about the mental clutter that came with them. So, she decided to tackle it head on. Mary spent a weekend going through every item in her closet. She asked herself, when was the last time I wore this? And does this still make me feel good? Anything that didn't make the cut was donated or given away to friends and family. The process wasn't easy at first. It's hard to let go of things that once held value, but as she sorted through her clothes, she began to feel lighter. Her space felt more open, and she realized that when she let go of things that no longer served her, she was making room for new energy and experiences. Afterward, Mary looked at her closet and felt a sense of freedom, a space that was now organized and simple. Not only did her home feel more peaceful, but she also felt more at ease. That act of decluttering became a small but powerful step toward regaining control over her life. And the best part, it was immediate. The moment she let go of the old, she felt a renewed sense of possibility. Do you have clothes you never wear, or perhaps items you've been holding on to for far too long? Let us know in the comments below. Share your decluttering journey. We'd love to hear from you. When we let go of things that no longer serve us, it's like a weight has been lifted. It's not just about the physical items, it's about the mental and emotional baggage that we often carry. And as you clear out that clutter, you'll notice a shift within yourself. You'll feel lighter, more free, and ready to take on what really matters. By starting with the physical clutter in your space, you can create a fresh, inviting environment that sets the tone for the rest of your life. And if you're not sure where to start, remember, it's okay to take it one small step at a time. Every item you remove brings you one step closer to feeling the freedom you deserve. Now let's talk about something that might be even harder to declutter: negative relationships. These are the people in your life who drain your energy, leave you feeling unappreciated, or create unnecessary stress. It's natural to hold on to relationships for various reasons: family ties, long-time friendships, or feelings of obligation. But sometimes, these connections can weigh you down and stop you from living your best life. Mary knows this all too well. She used to dread family gatherings because of one relative who always seemed to bring negativity into the room. Whether it was complaints about life, criticisms, or just a general sense of doom, this relative made every get-together feel tense and uncomfortable. At first, Mary tried to keep the peace, thinking it was just part of family dynamics. But over time, the negativity began to take a toll on her mental and emotional health. It was exhausting, and she found herself avoiding family events altogether just to escape the negativity. One day, Mary realized that the constant drain of this toxic relationship wasn't worth it. She decided it was time to set clear boundaries. She didn't cut this relative out entirely, but she learned to limit her exposure to them. At family gatherings, she chose to spend more time with the people who uplifted her and made her feel good, while respectfully limiting her interaction with that one person. She also communicated her feelings directly, letting this relative know that she needed more positivity in her life. And the result? Mary felt so much lighter. By setting boundaries and distancing herself from negativity, she regained control over her emotional well-being. She wasn't weighed down by the constant barrage of complaints or toxic energy. Instead, she found herself looking forward to family gatherings, knowing she could focus on the good and protect her own peace. Have you experienced a relationship like this? A person who always seems to bring you down or leave you feeling drained? Tell us in the comments how you handle toxic relationships, or if you've set boundaries in your own life. Sometimes it's not just stuff we need to declutter, it's people. Toxic relationships can have a far greater impact than physical clutter. By cutting back on the negativity in your life, you make space for positive, supportive connections that will help you grow and thrive. It's liberating to take control of who and what you allow into your life. Setting boundaries doesn't mean you have to cut people out completely, but it does mean putting yourself first and creating a life where you are respected and valued. By eliminating the drain of negativity, you're making room for more joy, peace, and emotional freedom. Just like Mary, you too can begin to reclaim your emotional energy and feel the incredible difference that comes from surrounding yourself with positivity. Now let's move on to something that's often overlooked, outdated, or unused technology. Over the years, we accumulate old phones, computers, or gadgets that no longer serve a purpose but still take up valuable space, both physically and mentally. These devices can be full of forgotten files, old photos, and apps we never use. But here's the thing: holding on to old technology can cause unnecessary stress. It clutters your mind, drains your time, and keeps you tied to the past. Mary experienced this firsthand. She had an old phone tucked away in a drawer, one that she hadn't used in years. The phone still worked, but it was outdated, and honestly, it had become a digital storage unit for over 3,000 photos, most of which she'd never even looked at. Every time she saw the phone, she felt a little overwhelmed, knowing that she still had to go through those files and photos one day. Finally, Mary decided it was time to declutter her digital life. She took the phone out, started deleting old photos she didn't need, and moved the ones that mattered to a backup storage drive. She spent a few hours cleaning up the digital mess, and the feeling was incredible. Not only did she free up space on her device, but she also made room for new memories and experiences. One of the most rewarding parts? Mary discovered some gems among the old photos, moments with loved ones that she'd forgotten about. Rather than being buried under the weight of thousands of forgotten images, she could now focus on the memories that truly mattered, the ones that brought her joy and connection. What's the oldest piece of technology you still have lying around? A phone, an old computer, or maybe a gadget you never use anymore? Share with us below. It might be time to give it a new purpose or let it go. Letting go of cluttered technology doesn't just mean clearing up space on your devices. It's about embracing simplicity and moving forward. In today's world, it's easy to get bogged down by the constant updates, apps, and data that accumulate over time. But when you take the time to declutter your digital world, you're making room for more focus, clarity, and freedom. The future is all about enjoying the present moment, and by clearing out the old tech, you're letting go of distractions and reconnecting with what matters most. By decluttering outdated technology, you're not only streamlining your digital space, you're freeing your mind from the clutter of the past. Whether it's that old phone gathering dust or a computer full of forgotten files, taking a few hours to organize your tech can provide a sense of accomplishment and a lighter, more focused approach to the future. So, what old technology is taking up space in your life? It might be time to let it go and make room for what's ahead. Now let's talk about something that's often the hardest to declutter: mental clutter. We all carry around worries, regrets, and fears about the future. These thoughts can pile up over time, leaving us feeling overwhelmed, anxious, and unable to focus on the present. Mental clutter can make even the simplest tasks feel like a heavy burden, and if we're not careful, it can take away our peace of mind and happiness. For Mary, one of the biggest sources of mental clutter was her finances. She had been avoiding looking at her financial situation because it felt complicated and overwhelming. Bills, retirement planning, savings, it all seemed like too much to manage, and the uncertainty about her future was constantly on her mind. Every time she thought about it, her stomach would tighten and she'd feel stressed. But Mary knew something had to change. She decided to set aside time to review and organize her finances. She broke the task down into smaller steps, reviewing her bills, checking her savings, and creating a simple budget. The moment she started tackling it, she felt an immediate sense of relief. Rather than feeling buried under her financial worries, she was now in control of them. The act of organizing her finances gave her a sense of clarity and peace, and it felt like she was clearing out years of mental clutter. What's the one thing you constantly worry about? Is it your finances, your health, or something else? Let's talk about it in the comments below. Sometimes, just voicing our concerns can help us clear the mental clutter. Sometimes, the heaviest clutter we carry is what's in our minds. These worries, regrets, and fears often hold us back from fully embracing the present. By addressing these concerns head-on, whether it's reviewing our finances, letting go of old regrets, or taking time for self-reflection, we create space for happiness and clarity. When you prioritize your peace of mind, you open the door to a more fulfilling and calm life. Taking the time to clear your mental clutter might not happen overnight, but the rewards are worth it. Whether it's organizing your finances, confronting a past regret, or just taking a moment to breathe and refocus, tackling mental clutter is a powerful way to bring more peace and clarity into your life. You deserve to feel light, clear-headed, and ready to embrace the future with confidence. As we age, our interests naturally change. What once brought us joy or a sense of accomplishment might not hold the same appeal anymore. And that's perfectly okay. Sometimes we hold on to hobbies simply because we've invested so much time and energy into them. But here's the truth. It's okay to let go of hobbies that no longer spark joy or contribute to your well-being. In fact, clearing out old hobbies can make room for new passions and bring a renewed sense of purpose. Mary had always enjoyed collecting stamps as a hobby. Over the years, her collection had grown into a small archive of carefully catalogued stamps from all over the world. It had been something she was proud of when she was younger. But as time passed, Mary realized she wasn't as interested in her stamp collection anymore. It was just taking up space, both physically and mentally. She found herself avoiding it, no longer excited to add to it, and unsure of what to do with the collection. One day, Mary decided to pass on her collection to a young relative who shared an interest in it. The relief she felt was instant. Not only did she free up space in her home, but she also passed on something that could still bring joy to someone else. It wasn't easy to let go of something that had been a part of her life for so long, but it was freeing. Mary realized that holding on to the collection was no longer serving her, and by letting go, she made room for new hobbies and experiences that aligned with who she was now. Do you have any old hobbies that you've outgrown? Maybe something that you used to love but no longer brings you joy? Share your story in the comments below. You never know, it could help someone else feel less alone in their own decluttering journey. As we grow, our interests evolve, and that's something to embrace. It's okay to let go of the old to make room for the new. By releasing hobbies that no longer serve us, we make space for activities that light us up and contribute to our happiness and well-being. Whether it's picking up a new creative outlet, exploring new activities, or simply enjoying the freedom that comes with letting go, it's all part of embracing who we are becoming. It's not about abandoning the past, it's about making space for the present and future. When you let go of outdated hobbies, you open the door to new possibilities. You might discover a new passion that brings you joy or find more time to focus on things that truly matter. So take a moment to ask yourself, what hobbies are no longer serving you, and what new things might you explore in their place? One of the easiest ways to declutter your life is by letting go of unnecessary obligations. We've all been there, saying yes to commitments because we feel guilty or want to be helpful. But here's the truth. Overcommitting can drain your energy and time, leaving you little room for what truly matters. It's time to prioritize yourself and let go of obligations that no longer bring value to your life. For Mary, one of her biggest sources of stress came from her volunteering efforts. She had always been passionate about giving back, but over the years, she found herself involved with multiple organizations, all demanding her time and energy. It started to feel like she was spreading herself too thin. She wasn't able to fully enjoy the activities she loved, nor did she have the time to relax and care for herself. Mary realized she was on autopilot, saying yes to everything, even when it no longer brought her fulfillment. After some reflection, Mary decided to scale back. She dropped a few of her volunteer commitments and focused on one organization that aligned with her deepest values. The change was transformative. Once she freed up her time, Mary felt rejuvenated. She had more energy to enjoy hobbies, spend time with loved ones, and even simply rest. Most importantly, she felt more focused on what truly mattered to her, rather than feeling drained by obligations that didn't bring her joy. Have you ever said yes too many times? We all have. Tell us in the comments how you handle obligations, or if you've ever had to say no for your own well-being. By saying no to unnecessary commitments, you're saying yes to more of what makes you happy. Learning to prioritize what truly matters is empowering. It's a way of reclaiming your time, energy, and sense of purpose. Saying no isn't selfish. It's a way to honor yourself and the things that bring you joy and fulfillment. By clearing away unnecessary obligations, you create space for self-care, relaxation, and the activities that truly bring you happiness. It's not about being busy. It's about being intentional with your time. So, take a moment to evaluate your commitments. What can you let go of in order to focus on what truly lights you up? Now, let's address something that can often be the hardest to let go of: unresolved past issues. These could be old grievances, regrets, or unresolved conflicts that linger in your mind and heart, holding you back from fully living in the present. We've all experienced situations where the weight of the past feels like it's constantly dragging us down. But here's the truth. In order to move forward, we must learn to let go of what no longer serves us. This is about freeing yourself from the emotional baggage that keeps you stuck and opening up to new possibilities. Mary had been carrying around the weight of a long-held family conflict for years. There had been a misunderstanding between her and her sister that had never been properly addressed. It started as a small disagreement, but grew into something larger, creating a wedge between them. For years, Mary replayed the argument in her mind, holding on to feelings of anger and resentment. It affected her relationships with others, and even her ability to truly enjoy life. Every time she thought about it, she felt a tightness in her chest, and that unresolved issue consumed her thoughts. One day, Mary realized that this lingering issue was holding her back. She had spent so much emotional energy on something that, in the grand scheme of her life, no longer deserved her attention. So, she made the decision to reach out to her sister and finally have an open, honest conversation. It wasn't easy, but through that conversation, they cleared the air, apologized to each other, and began the process of healing. For the first time in years, Mary felt truly free from the past. The emotional weight she had carried for so long was lifted, and she felt lighter, both physically and mentally. Is there something in your past that you're ready to let go of? Maybe it's a long-standing grievance, regret, or a past conflict that's been holding you back. Share with us in the comments, and let's talk about how letting go of the past can help us embrace the future. When we stop carrying the weight of the past, we open ourselves up to new possibilities. Holding on to old hurts can prevent us from fully experiencing the joy and fulfillment that life has to offer. It takes courage to let go, but when we do, we give ourselves the gift of freedom. We create space for growth, healing, and new beginnings. By letting go of unresolved issues, you're not excusing past wrongs or forgetting about painful experiences. You're choosing to release their grip on your present and future. It's about forgiving, whether that's forgiving others, forgiving yourself, or simply choosing not to carry the past with you any longer. When you release old emotional baggage, you allow yourself to step into a life filled with more peace, clarity, and opportunity. Take a moment to reflect. What unresolved issues are you still carrying? What would it feel like to finally let go of that burden? Letting go isn't about forgetting, it's about setting yourself free to live fully in the present. So ask yourself, are you ready to release the past and embrace the future with open arms? Mary's life has completely transformed after decluttering these 7 things. By letting go of excess physical clutter, toxic relationships, outdated technology, mental stress, old hobbies, unnecessary obligations, and unresolved past issues, she's experienced a profound shift. She feels lighter, happier, and more in control of her time and energy. And with the new year just around the corner, she's ready to embrace it with a fresh outlook, knowing she's made space for what truly matters. Clearing out not just physical stuff, but mental and emotional clutter can bring an instant sense of peace and joy. It's not just about tidying up your space, it's about making room for a brighter, more fulfilled future. By decluttering the things that no longer serve you, you create space for new opportunities, new joy, and new beginnings. So take this moment as your sign to declutter your own life and step into the new year with a renewed sense of purpose and freedom. If you found this helpful, hit that like button and share it with someone who needs to hear this today. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more life-changing advice, and check out our other videos for tips on living your best life after 60. You won't want to miss what's coming next.